What's up? So you are curious whether you are addicted to smoking weed or not? In this video, I will take you through a list of 11 symptoms which define addiction. And the reason I want to do with you is because I struggled myself with the fact that I actually was addicted, which I denied for a long time. I've been smoking weed for close to 10 years, every single day. And in this video, I'm going to take you through the things that actually define addictive behavior. And the reason I think this is very important is because I think a lot of people who are casually smoking weed are also actually addicted to it. Because in the Netherlands, you have this podcast, it's called Rookhorst. It's an urban podcast run by rappers. They also invite rappers and actors out of the same urban scene. And at one point, they were talking with a group of rappers about this smoking weed. In the Netherlands, smoking weed is legally allowed. Therefore, I would say 95% of all rappers do smoke weed, rap about smoking weed. They were actually smoking weed during this podcast. And they came to a certain point where they were talking about quitting to smoke weed. And the remarkable thing was that literally every single one of these rappers admitted that they actually wanted to quit smoking weed. They were aware of the bad habits. They were aware of the bad consequences. I'm sorry, man. As you can see, I'm pretty sick right now. I'm sipping on some agua panela, a Colombian power drink, which is supposed to cure every disease. Obviously, I have committed to helping you overcoming addiction by providing a video every single day, just like you have committed to staying sober. So obviously I cannot give up on you guys or on you personally. Therefore, I will still do the video, but give me a little time, right? So, back to the point. All rappers wanted to quit smoking weed, some even tried, but they couldn't do it. And I think this is very relatable to other people, actually not rappers, who do smoke weed casually, but actually are addicted to it as well. So I'm about to run you through a list of Oxford University in the United States, a list with 11 symptoms which define addiction, and you can see for yourself whether you actually are addicted to smoking weed. Oxford says if you only experience 2 of these symptoms, you can speak of addiction. Well, for me, I literally had all 11, and I won't be surprised if you also have multiple of these symptoms. Therefore, it would be highly recommendable to think again about your weed smoking and obviously consider quitting, right? So let's dive straight into it. The first of these symptoms, which Oxford is talking about, is the inability to stop using drugs despite a strong desire or even many attempts to do so. So I just told you about these rappers in this podcast. They obviously all can check off this one symptom because they all said they actually wanted to stop smoking weed, but they couldn't, or at least they didn't. Symptom 2, taking more drugs at a time or taking them more often than originally intended. So you might say, I have one grab of weed for this night, and halfway through, it's done, and you get another bag. This shows addictive behavior. Number 3, you have drug cravings. So you feel like the urge that you actually need these drugs. Number 4, a great deal of time spent working on ways to obtain drugs, using them and recovering from drug use. So this is obviously a very important thing which I talked about in earlier videos as well, in previous videos, that addictive behavior takes a lot of time. And that's exactly what it shows. So if you experience the same fact, you might be addicted as well. 5, social and recreational activities that were previously a priority are no longer valued, and participation in them is often replaced by activities related to drug abuse instead. Excuse me. We're halfway there. Number 6. Repeatedly using drugs in situations that are deemed hazardous or physically dangerous. So you might be smoking weed in the car, or on a scooter, on a motor. And this is obviously a symptom of being addicted, or it could be a symptom of being addicted. Number 7, despite the negative impact on relationships and the adverse social ramifications, continued drug use. So you are experiencing that you speak less with your parents, with your friends, with your family, which I had exactly the same. This can also be a sign of addictive behavior. Continued use of drugs in spite of the knowledge that using them is creating emotional, social and physical consequences. So your behavior is actually, is actually impacting your physical or mental health. This is obviously a very bad situation, and this single one thing should be enough for you to say, I gotta quit smoking weed. Drug tolerance indicated by regular use of the drug having less effect and the need to take more to feel intoxicated. So it simply says your tolerance goes up, right? First time you smoked weed, you took a few hits and you were spacing like a fucking rocket. And what I had the last few years that I smoked weed is I was smoking every single day and didn't really get stoned after smoking a whole joint on my own. I just got kind of paranoia, and yeah, it obviously wasn't the high that I experienced when I started doing it. The last thing, drug withdrawal symptoms when drug wears off, which may include gastrointestinal upset, headaches, depression, anxiety, insomnia, irregular heart rate and blood pressure, irritability, agitation and fatigue. Well, what probably most of you are gonna experience, what I had as well, really bad, is your sleep is gonna be really, really fucked up. You will be waking up in the middle of the night because you have crazy nightmares. You will be all soaked in sweat. And this is also one of the signs that you're addicted to weed. Like I said, I had 11 at the time, so I'm very curious about you, how much you have. If you like, leave it down below in the comments. I'm very curious how deep you guys, actually are in this and what I can provide to help you with it. So this is it for today. You see, I'm not 100%. I still try to hook you up with some knowledge. I will link the Oxford, the paper of Oxford Treatment Center. I will link it below down in this video. And I speak soon to you tomorrow in the next video. Cheers.